Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our nightly devotional. And this week's focus is going to be Refuge in God. So just give me a few seconds. I'm just getting everything resituated. I pray everyone had an amazing and wonderful, Easter break. See how things are going. So I'm just going to not even a couple of minutes. Like I'm just going to wait a sec, see who's online, and we are going to get started. So let's get going in this. So as most of you know, we did not have devotional on last evening. And that was because we wanted, you guys to really, be able to just relax, whatever. It was an amazing series for the Lent journey with the culmination of, we thank all of those who joined us for the 7 last words of Christ. And it was just amazing. So we appreciate everyone who supported, who's still supporting, sharing the video, watching it still. Many people are still being blessed and being, moved by that as well. Also want to welcome the new members to the group, YB Devotionals. Hi, Sister Marilyn. How are you doing today? New members to the group. We have a couple, and we're so grateful to have you with us. If you're not on Facebook, and if you are and want to be a part of the group, just search for YV Devotionals and request to join. There's some little questions. Just answer those questions, and it's not a sorority. You're going to be approved to join the group. And we have such resources and a wealth of resources and a lovely community and family that is there. Hi, Sister Pauline. How are you today? So definitely, join us if you can. If not, you don't want to join the group. And Minister Peterson, you can find her our nice nightly devotionals on her page, and it's Minister Keisha L. Peterson on Facebook, and also on Twitter and Periscope. And you can follow me. You can find mine at Juanita Estelle Gaynor, or you can find me on YouTube or Periscope at Juanita E. Gaynor. So however you want to listen to us, absolutely be great. Now, this is, if you think about, we're going to dive into this evening's devotional, but just to give you a preview of what we have coming up starting next week. As you know, we're officially in what is called the season leading up to Pentecost. Pentecost is the 7th Sunday after Easter, or in essence, 50 days from Easter. And basically, Pentecost is the day where it's the descent of the Holy Spirit right after the crucifixion, resurrection of Jesus. So it is a lot of festivals, a lot of things that go time period. Some call it the Feast of Weeks. Actually, this week is considered the feast of the unleavened bread from Saturday, this past Saturday, to the current Feast of the Unleavened Bread. But we was doing something a little bit lighter this coming out of just an amazing, Lent journey, Good Friday and, Easter Sunday, Easter Monday. So next week we'll go more into Pentecost, the different, feasts and things that are going on along that process up until actual Pentecost, which is June the 9th. So we have a lot of content that'll fluctuate and float between those times, but it'll be a great learning experience for all. So this week's devotional is Refuge in God. And I thought it was just appropriate. It was a short devotional as we're here today, tomorrow, and Friday. So it fit perfectly into what we have going on. And it was just a nice takeaway from all that we poured out into during the past, 6 weeks. So today's topic is knowing God as your refuge. And we have a few, scripture verses the main focus verse is Psalms, the 9th chapter, the 9th and the 10th verse. We also have Romans 5 through 12, with emphasis on the 12th verse. Of course, we have John 3 through 16, of course, with emphasis on John 3:16 and John 14:16. We think I'll explain to you what the refuge is, and it has 3 distinct definitions for it. The first one, it says shelter of protection from danger or distress. The second definition is a place that provides shelter or protection. And finally, the thing to which one has recourse in difficulties. And that word recourse means, you have something or someone to turn to, or it's a source of strength, and relief. So I'm going to kind of put those words in there, when you think of the last, definition of refuge, it says something to which one has someone or something to turn to in difficulty, or something to which one has a source of relief or strength in difficulty. And all of those embodies what God is. Psalms 9 through 10. And I'm going to read the King James Version, and I'm going to read the New Living Translation version. And the King James Version reads as such: "The Lord will also be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they know that thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, Lord, has not forsaken them that seek." And the New Living Translation reads, "The Lord is a shelter for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. Those who know your name trust in you. For you, O Lord, do not abandon those who search for you." Now I'm gonna ask this question, and it may be facetious, but I just want you to think about something. Would you trust someone that you didn't know, someone who you have no relationship with the password to your multi-billion, notice I didn't say million, I said billion-dollar bank account and your various investments? I certainly would not. I wouldn't. And I really don't think you would either. Basically, generally speaking, no one would trust someone they don't know anything, about with anything valuable. Now, before you can truly take refuge in God, you have to want to get to know him. And I think that's the key, is getting to know him. To know him is the same as putting your faith in him for salvation. Referred to in the New Testament as saving faith. It is knowing God that you will be able to trust and take refuge in him. As Psalms 9 and 10 says, it says, "And for those who know your name will put their trust in you." So when we read the Bible, it teaches us that we were separated from God because of sin. And that sin is discussed. We know what the original sin was, and that was in Genesis when, Adam, disobeyed God's command. But they do reference it again back in the New Testament in Romans, the 5th chapter and the 12th verse. And it says, in the New Living Translation, it says, "And when Adam sinned, sin entered the world. Adam's sin brought death. So death spread to everyone, for everyone had sinned." And so when that happened, there was no longer that direct connect with God. So we have to now reestablish that connection. Now, Jesus in the crucifixion and him, taking on our sins and being that perfect covering so that when his Father looks at us, he sees the blood that his son shed. But we still have to build that connection, build that relationship, want that connection. We can't just say, okay, well, yeah, your son died and it should be good. That's absolutely not the way this goes. You have to want that intimate relationship with him. You have to seek it out. You have to just be like, you know what? I want this more than anything. And if you think about it, that loss has created a void. Because if you ask yourself, you're always searching for someone, something else to fill it, whether it's clothes, food, sex, drugs, alcohol. You're looking for something to fill that void that only God can fill. So that is why he knew there was that disconnect. That is why Jesus came. But we have to know that God is our refuge. And so we have to build the relationship and study and have that conversation with him and commune with him. Like we sit in here and we commune with one another. We have to want that connection, because as we build a relationship, as we build trust, as we don't have to worry about, okay, I know you shouldn't even have to ask that. And get mad at me when I say that. The reason I say it that way is because I know where he's brought me from. I know what my life has been, and really that I should be in someone's mental institution in a complete padded room in a straitjacket. That's where the devil was trying to send me. But it was God's grace and his mercy that was like, nah, we're not going there. Yeah, raking you over the coals, but we're not going there. And you're not going there. And so therefore, I seek to have a covenant relationship with him. I seek him out, because he has shown me time and time again, he's got my back. He has shown me that even when I turn my back on him, even when I decide to do it my own way, he's still patiently waiting for me to get my act back together and come back to him and recognize who I am and whose I am, so that we can keep moving. If most of you follow me on Facebook, Kirk Franklin, who is one of my favorite artists, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't understand a lot of his stuff when I was younger, but trust me, as years pass, I've gone through some stuff I have appreciation for. I didn't understand, I get it now. He came out with this new song. I can't wait for his album to drop. And it says, "Just for Me." And when I tell you, the words speak to every situation has been going on in my life. It says, just for me, when, I, lost blessings because I didn't wait patiently. When I thought the world revolved around me. When I forgot that you are God and I'm not. So there are times, but he's still waiting patiently. And yes, we go through the fire. And yes, we feel like it's not fair that, we have to go through this pain and we have to go through this firing process. And we don't think it's fair that sometimes the things we go through is called love, but he has to correct us and chastise us so that we can be a better self. He has to take us through the firing process so that we don't think it was us that got us to where we need to be. He's got to show us so that we know that other people have gone through things, maybe something greater, and we have a greater appreciation for when he brings us out and shows us how we can help someone else. So his being in his refuge is your relationship with him, and you got to want it. And it's difficult in the beginning. It is. Because we're human. And because we want to do things on our own. Even though I know God has done everything for me, he is the he is got me all things, I still have challenges in letting go sometimes. And that is that human nature of wanting to control and wanting to, do whatever. But I surely arrest that real quick. I don't let that linger around too long. I don't let that materialize too long before I check it and be like, oh no, we are not having this. We are not doing this. No, sir, no, ma'am. But that is over the time of building a relationship with him and seeking him and trusting him and knowing that no matter what, he has my back. Even when I stumble and fall, even when I back up, even when I turn my back on him, he still guides me. So don't ever think that your sin or your mistake or your mishap is so great that he's going to turn his back on you, because he won't. He's there. He's just waiting for you to sow what we used to call back in the day, sow your royal oats. But trust me, he'll nudge you along the way if he feels you're taking too long. Because we all have this purpose and it's great. And we can't just let it hang out and lollygag and not do something productive and fruitful with it. He desires a relationship with us. And that was why his son hung on the cross, so that he can be the pathway back to an intimate relationship with him. John 14:16 said, and it says, Jesus told him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come unto the Father except through me. So first you have to believe and know that he was sent for your redemption. And once you do that, he is the one that intercedes and helps us have that deep connection with his Father, because it's his blood that allows it to happen. It's just not, we can't just roll up in there like any kind of way. So I know I'm dating myself, but I know back in the day, even though, everyone has this mantra of come as you are, and yes, I'm going to make some people angry, and I'm okay with that. That is not what that statement meant. For those who know better, for those who have better, you are supposed to dress appropriately. You wouldn't go to work looking like that, so why would you treat the house of God that way? And I'm not talking about for those who don't have. I remember coming up and those young ladies or those young men that didn't have, what those mothers did, what those deacons did. They had stuff at the church. They had like a closet and whatever. And, that young lady would come out looking like $1 million. And no one embarrassed her about her. She sat down with her nice little skirt and top on with her handkerchief and thankful to God that she was there. That young man was nice. He was like happy to get that tie and those slacks and that, little shirt and praising God that he was there. We have to go back to embracing people, because the church is the hospital for those who don't have it together. Contrary to popular belief, it is not meant for those to come in and be like, I got it all together. I don't need any help. Then what are you here for? Because this is the place where people get healed, people get saved, people find redemption, people find love, people find strength. So we have to begin back to embrace that thought process, because we're losing many. But it starts with us. It starts with us understanding that even though we've come a long way, we're not out of the hospital. Our hospital stay is going to be until we leave this earth, because we're not going to have perfection until we leave here. So until that happens, we are all still in the hospital. You have some that are up on the unit where they can come and go as quickly as they please and how they want to. You have some that is in ICU. You have some that are in tragic. You have people coming through the trauma unit every day. But we're all still in the hospital as long as we're on this earth preparing to serve God. Perfection is only going to be had once we leave. So just know that we're all at different stages in the hospital. We all are. My stage is different than your stage or someone else's stage, but we're all still there. Now, sometimes we think we are completely healed and we are just all of that. And we try to, check ourselves out, or we check ourselves out a lot of the times only to have to come back. And what do? They have to triage us. They have to see what's going on. He's got to reassess, get you stable, and then get you back up to where you was before you can get to the next level. And most of you who had surgery, if you had any surgery, if you have anything like asthma or heart disease or whatever, you always remember what the doctor would say. Okay, listen, take your time, so do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And what do we do sometimes? Because we feel a little bit better and we start feeling ourselves. And now it's just like, okay, I'm back in this hospital. Like I'm back at the bottom floor and I was at the top floor because we didn't listen, because we wasn't patient and doing what God. So know that he's your refuge. Seek him, search for him, love him, because he wants you to be the best that you could possibly be. Because when you're the best that you can possibly be, he can work wonders. He can work magic. He can shine his light through you, and so that someone else can see his glory through you. So thank you for joining me this evening for our devotion this week, Refuge in God, knowing God as your refuge. We will be back tomorrow evening, the same time, same location. Know that I love you all. I want you to have a blessed evening. If you are not a part of the group, come on and join us. We would love to have you. Just go ahead and search for YV Devotionals on Facebook, and you'll definitely find us. If there's a prayer request that you need, you can also reach out to myself or Minister Peterson, and we will gladly just keep you in prayer. Even though we keep you in prayer on a journal, we'll definitely have in prayer of you. Know that we care for you. Now I want you to get some rest. Have a great evening. Gonna have a great evening, right? You're gonna have a great evening, right? Awesome. I want you to have just a great evening. We love you dearly, and we will see you tomorrow, the same time, the same location. Love you so much, and be blessed. Good night.